That one was produced by Steve Lipson, and he's now working on a new single. It's a song by Thomas Lear, who, together with Claudia Brucken, form a new duo called ACT. For their first single, Steve's already laid down 24 separate instrumental tracks, without going near a single conventional instrument. A lot's changed in the 20 years since the Beatles were making records, when the instruments were real and the recording on magnetic tape. Steve, that sounds great so far. You've already got 24 tracks together. Now, I don't see a tape recorder, so where are those sounds all coming from?
Well, they're recorded in a 200-track digital memory recorder, which is in here.
So you've got 24 different sounds. Could you perhaps play one or two from different tracks?
Yes, certainly.
So that's what? A synthesizer?
That's a synthesizer, which this machine is controlling that synthesizer over there.
And those are drums?
Yeah, they are sampled drums.
So all those fit together, all the 24, to make the sound that you've got so far. Now, you mentioned synthesized sounds and sampled sounds. Synthesizers have been around for quite a while, and the sound that they make are just electronically generated signals, aren't they? But what's sampling about?
Sampling is digitally recording sound, be it a note or a phrase. For example, I have a bass guitar here that I sampled there, and I can play it up and down the keyboard and sequence it and make a bass guitar out of it.
So after recording just one note from a real bass guitar, the computer can then generate any note up and down the scale?
Yeah.
OK, but how exactly does it do that?
Well, it slows the sample down when I go down, and it speeds the sample up when I go up.
So you're able to control what sounds like a real instrument just on your own on that keyboard?
Yeah.
So the computer now contains a whole series of different sounds, doesn't it? But how does it know when to play them?
Well, we've spent a while programming the computer to trigger these sounds in different pitches for different durations. And if you look here, we have a whole load of staves that show this programming.
So you've written that score into the computer note by note, have you?
Note by note.
Now that presumably means you can play around with the different parts, does it?
It means basically you've got complete control over everything. You can change the pitches, you can change the timing of one track relative to another, you can change the sounds when you're nearing the end of the project. It gives you complete manipulation of the music.
Could you give us a for instance, perhaps, of how you might change the feel of something?
Yeah, well, if we take the bass and drums as an example, I'll play a little bit of them and change the position of the snare relative to everything, which will shift the timing. Gone completely out of time. That is a ludicrous thing to do, and we wouldn't obviously do it, but the possibilities are enormous with that sort of flexibility of changing the feel of the music we're working on.
And can you play around with voices in the same way?
Oh, certainly. We've sampled a singer who's sung these notes and put them in.
Now, how much work have you got to still put in before this becomes a single?
Oh, quite a bit. We want to put on some real instruments, real people, give it a bit of feel. In that respect, could take any up to 2 weeks. Come back in a fortnight and see where we're up to.
So for Steve, the computer offers total control and the chance to create those new and unusual sounds that we've come to expect from pop.